Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here again today on another episode of Ask HR, brought to you by PuzzleHR. I am your host, Chris Timol, and I am joined once again by my incredibly talented co-host, Brianna Grimes. Grimes, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Super excited to be back. Thanks for inviting me.
You're always, I can't do this without you. I don't know anything about HR. I just ask the questions. I'm like Chuck Woolery over here.
You can chat GPT it, maybe.
Not safe, not safe. All right. So there's no name on this one, Grimes, and it's pretty simple. It is, how do I handle two employees that just don't get along?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, all the questions we get are such great questions. And I think it's because you're not the only manager out there that deals with them. I know this one didn't have a name on it, but no name. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. It is definitely one of the more frustrating parts of being a manager. But if you think about it, you put any group of people in a room, not everyone's going to be friends. There's people that are going to click, there's people that aren't going to click. And part of being a good manager is being able to make the personalities within your team complement each other and help to provide an environment where they can complement each other, and you reduce that conflict as much as possible. So that's definitely part of the responsibilities of being a manager. When you do have two employees that don't get along, there's a couple of different ways to approach it. And it really kind of depends on the level of tension between the employees. So if you've got employees that just really struggle working together, they really don't know how to get along, or their styles are just very, very opposite. A lot of the times, a simple conversation or a facilitation of a conversation between the two can really help. Sit them down, ask them separately what's going on, what are some of their issues, why can't they get along, and really try to find a happy medium. And sometimes that solution is splitting them up. Sometimes that solution is finding another team for one of the two of them. And sometimes you're able to facilitate conversations and exercises to help them get along. It could be anything from a miscommunication or misunderstanding, all the way to just some personality differences. One thing to remember is a lot of employees bring in their personal experiences, their personal biases and everything into the workplace. So how they show up every day is a result of everything that they've experienced up to that point in their life. And so it's important to remember that, everyone's different. Things that you might assume that people know is just, why would you do that? I would never do that. I can never empathize with that. It's something that maybe other people are just oblivious to. So having a good conversation and just being open and honest and using that relationship currency that you've earned with your employees as a manager is going to be really key to this. There are obviously extreme examples where you have employees that fight or might get verbally or physically abusive. I've seen this happen, unfortunately, with some of my previous employers, especially in some of the like warehouse or construction environments. Sometimes this happens. And that's where things would get a little bit more escalated. Probably need to sit down and have a third party intervene, have a conversation, definitely need to separate the two and move them into a different team, and or even terminate an employee if they're violating company policy. So it is going to depend a little bit on the extent of, what do you consider not getting along? Because there are some varying levels to that. But a lot of the times you can start with a conversation and kind of see where it goes from there, and then make the best determination based on how open these two employees are to settling their differences.
Good stuff, Grimes. Good stuff, Grimes. Thank you very much. That's, interpersonal challenges can really hurt teams. So that's, I hope, no name, whoever you are, I hope that helps you. I hope that helps all of you who are here with us today. And I want to thank you all for joining us for this episode of Ask HR. And we look forward to seeing you again real soon. And as always the case, if you've got something that you want to ask HR, just send us an email at askhr@puzzlehr.com. That's askhr@puzzlehr.com. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining.